This is Whiskey 5 Oscar Golf. I'll be net control for the Air Force's Flyers Club net. Begins at the top of the hour here in 10 minutes on this frequency. This is Whiskey 5 Oscar Golf. The Air Force's Flyers Club Net will begin on 14-290, top of the hour, 5 minutes. Yes, the frequency is in use. There'll be a net starting up here in about 1 minute. W50G, thank you for asking. Okay, it's 1500 Zulu, 10 o'clock local time here in the central part of the country. This is Whiskey 5 Oscar Golf. I will be net control for the Air Force's Flyers Club Net this Thursday morning. And my name is Dale, Delta Alpha Lima Echo. Again, the call is Whiskey 5 Oscar Golf. I'm located in East Texas, about 100 miles east of Dallas out in the country, a little town of Mineola, Texas. This group meets on this frequency at this time every day of the year. Members of our group are active duty, retired, and veterans of the military air forces from all branches. They include air crew, ground crew, air traffic controllers, support personnel, anyone involved with supporting the aviation mission from all of our armed forces. We also like to welcome visitors. You're welcome to join us on the net anytime. You don't have to have any military experience or aviation experience in order to participate in the net. We do like to have visitors. And the purpose of our group is to promote fellowship between those of us radio amateurs who spend a portion of our lives supporting the missions of our armed forces and the aviation world. This is a controlled net, contact net control. Please use the words contact, relay, info, or check-in. We have a nice website. You can find out all about the group. And there is an online application there if you feel like you're qualified, would like to join us. We'd love to have new members. The address for the website is airforcesflyersclub.org. I'll say that again, Air Forces, plural, Flyers, plural, club.org. The way we run the net is that we have a net on net logger, and I'll take the stations in order as on that list. And doing the net logging duties this morning is Lee. Thank you, Lee. It looks like you've got things straightened out now. It's propagating well. All the new entries I've noticed are coming in good. So that looks great. Anyway, it's on NetLogger. For those of you that want to join us, you can do it there, or we will take over the air check-ins here just shortly. We will have a question of the day, and it was actually submitted by KA4YES and Tom in Alabama. He's not here today, and that's a shame. I think he is probably undergoing chemo. He has got some problems there for sure. Anyway, our prayers are with Tom, KA4YES. All right, so far on the list this morning, I have the following. Stand by. We have the following folks on the list off of NetLogger. First, we have our mobile W5PIX. I didn't see John, K0ZNC, but if he shows up, Bob, K1BLB, maybe you can bring him in. In addition to Cliff, W5PIX, we've got our other 18-wheel mobile this morning, KB0LTT, and Larry has a good signal there from I-70 up northern part of Kansas. I've got a visitor this morning, W4BBK. That's Bill in Walton, Kentucky. I think he's been in with us before. And as I mentioned earlier, Lee in 5BE. Next is W7AJN. And then the KF7GJO, our ops officer, Carl. And K1BOB, the boss, Bob, our commander. And Captain Bill, W2WLD, out in Scotia, New York. We got Joe, W5ABI, with his big signal from Las Cruces. And Jack is showing up, KM4CAX, Jack in Silverton, Georgia. I hope he's there with us this morning. Hope you're doing well, Jack. And Rod checked in, KL1Y. And Ray, WB2JJO. And Mike, KQ6E. I've got Charlie, K4YDB, and Charlie runs a live stream on YouTube for us. You'll see the question of the day on his live stream. If you'll open up YouTube on your favorite browser and search for Kilo 4 Yankee Delta Bravo and select live stream, you'll see the question of the day posted there. Thank you for that, Charlie. And I've got Professor Bob in X6RG, Chief Mike up in Oklahoma City, WW5ENZ. Got to James, KG5PTE from Belton, Texas. And let's see, receive only this morning. I've got Ken, K7ARN in Kingman, Arizona. Good morning to you, Ken. Glad you're joining us, just listening in there. That's fine. All right, that's the lessons I have it so far. Let me take a standby for additional check-ins. If I didn't call your call sign and you'd like to join us this morning, you can call in over the air now. W50G. Well, I had my pen and pencil all ready, but I didn't hear any takers. Let's go to how about NX6RG on the West Coast? You always have a great signal here, Bob. Go ahead. Put a call out if you would from California there. W50G.
Okay, Dale. This is November X-Ray 6 Romeo Golf. Calling for check-ins to the Air Force's Flyers Net. Members or visitors, please call now. Nothing heard.
Okay, thank you, Bob. How about Captain Bill, W2WLD? Put a quick call out if you would, Bill. We'll try it from the East Coast there. W50G.
Yeah, welcome, Dale. This is Whiskey 2 Whiskey Lima Delta, upstate New York, relaying for net control for the Air Force's Flyers Club Net. Taking check-in. Members or guests, please call now. No, nothing heard, Dale.
Yeah, pretty quiet this morning. All right, well, let's go ahead with the question of the day. Again, it was posted courtesy of Tom, KA4YES. It's a fairly lengthy, and I hope that you're able to get the YouTube up. You don't have to write all this stuff down. Interesting and timely, and let's see, what else can I say about it? We talked about some of these things before, but he did the research, and we're certainly going to visit this area. And it has to do with the Boeing 737 MAX. Reference to Boeing's, the first item that is on his agenda this morning, referencing the Boeing 737 MAX Indonesian Airways crash, October of 2018. You all remember that. It killed 189 passengers and crew. And then again on March the 10th of 2019, Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302, another Boeing 737 MAX 8, crashed shortly after takeoff, killing all 157 people on board. And item 3, shortly after takeoff on January the 5th, 2024, a few years later, a door plug on the Boeing 737 MAX 9 aircraft blew out, causing an uncontrolled decompression of the aircraft. And the question that Tom is posing this morning, which of the following statements were found to be a significant contributing factor in the above events? In the investigation of the above events. And note, more than one can be correct. All right, the statements are: A, quality construction shortfalls discovered by factory floor workers were either not reported or hidden by executive personnel. I'll say that again. Answer alpha. Quality construction shortfalls discovered by factory floor workers were either not reported or hidden by executive personnel. Statement Bravo. Company top executives were widely distributed. Seattle, Washington, for example, and suburban Connecticut. Also, some were assigned down in Orlando, Florida. And they were not communicating with each other. Company top executives were widely distributed in Seattle, suburban Connecticut, and Orlando, and not communicating with each other. Statement Charlie. Outsourcing assembly system parts. They were made in Japan, South Korea, Italy, France, and Sweden. Statement Charlie. The outsourcing assembly system parts made in Japan, South Korea, Italy, France, and Sweden. And statement Delta. The FAA allowing Boeing to independently approve certification of airworthiness. This authority was withdrawn, and the FAA inspectors now do all airworthy sign-offs. In addition, line workers are now encouraged to report suspected quality shortfalls to the FAA. Statement Delta. The FAA allowing Boeing to independently issue a certification of airworthiness. This was withdrawn, and the FAA inspectors now do all airworthy sign-offs. In addition, line workers are encouraged to report suspected quality shortfalls to the FAA. And statement echo is all of the above statements are true. All are true as B echo. All right. Do I have any questions, or does anybody need a repeat on any of that? Call now, W50G. All right, don't see Don on there. Let's go ahead and get started with our mobiles. First, Uncle Cliff, W5PIX. Where are you and what's going on there, Cliff? W50G, you're up. Anybody here, Cliff? W5PIX Mobile, are you there, Cliff? W50G. Okay, let's go to our next mobile. We'll leave Cliff on there and come back to him here shortly. He may be busy or out of the truck momentarily. Let's go to Larry, the other 18-wheel driver, KB0LTT, a big signal this morning. Larry, you're up, W50G.
W50G and the Flyers, KB0LTT Mobile in Kansas. Good morning, Dale. Good morning to each and every one on the net. And all the ships at sea. Bill, the station that you politely asked to join our dinner move, I'm still hearing him here in Kansas. He moved down about 500 cycles, I think. I'm still hearing him. He was 20 over 9 on this frequency of my location. But otherwise, I'm copying everybody quite well, regardless. I'm currently at the Oakley Municipal Airport near Oakley, Kansas. I have winds to 50 degrees and 6. Sky is clear, visible on the scan. Temperature is 62 Fahrenheit. Incidentally, it was 37 degrees when I woke up this morning out in Goodland, Kansas. Nice cool morning. Dew point 44 Fahrenheit, humidity 51%, and the pressure 3021. And as far as the answer to the question, Dale, I'm going to take the safe bet and go with echo. All of the above is my answer for the question of the morning there. W50G, and the Air Force Flyers Club Net, KB0LTT, 18-wheel mobile in Kansas. Back to you, sir.
All right, Larry, buddy, good signal this morning. You're really both locally and on the SDR, so I know everybody heard you. I'm not hearing that other station, by the way. Apparently things have changed or something, and I'm not hearing him at all. But I hope we have a clear channel. I'm coming in good on the SDR, so I hope that most folks are hearing me. I know where you are exactly there, Larry. That's some of my favorite parts of the country. I used to go. I had a good friend for a long time there that lived or was from Larned, Kansas, out there in the western part of the state, and west central, I guess you'd say. And we would go up there for the opening day of pheasant season every year. He and I had 4 airplanes together. So we flew back and went hunting occasionally. It was great. All right, let's go to our visitor, Bill, at W4 Bravo Delta Kilo. Bill, if you're hearing me, you're up for what do you have for our net at W50G?
This is W4 Bravo Delta Kilo. Nice to be on this net. I said it 4 years ago. Anyway, Kilo Bravo Lima, Kilo Bravo Zero Lima.
Larry, this is not the Ole Miss net, by the way. I don't know if maybe you're mistaken on the net, but right quick, Larry, or are you copying that station from Kentucky over?
Yeah, I do have a light copy on you, Bill, from Kansas. Good morning to you, KB0LTT Mobile, Kansas. QSL.
Are you copying him, Bill? All right. Sorry conditions aren't better there, Bill, but thanks for checking in anyway, and do appreciate your joining us. You're welcome to come in anytime. All right, let's see. We got another visitor. Next would be Kilo 7, Uniform November Alpha, Ed in Green Valley, Arizona. Good morning to you, Ed, if you're hearing me. You're up for the net, W50G.
Thanks for having me on as a visitor. Not from the Air Force, but I was in the Navy on the couple helicopters, so I guess maybe that's qualified. Thanks a lot. No topics, just wanted to check in. From
All right, Ed. Well, thank you for your service, and check out the website there, airforcesflyersclub.org. We have a lot of Navy folks here. As long as you're associated with aviation, you would qualify. Anyway, we'll move along, and thanks for being there this morning. We'll leave you on the list, Ed, in case you're still with us for the. Well, I guess you did check out there. You're offline. All right, let's move along. Let's go to Lee, N5BE. Good morning, Lee. Again, thanks for doing the net logging. You're up, W50G.
W50G, N5BE. Good morning, Dale. Good morning, everybody on the net today. Boy, this question, Dale, brought back so many memories. We stole a program from Walmart called QMI, Quick Marketing Intelligence, where Walmart every morning with all the regional directors and store managers would get on a call to discuss events of the day, events of yesterday, plans for tomorrow, what was needed, what were they getting short on, all of that. They would do that every morning. We stole that, and that in business it's called leveraging. And we had a stand-up call every morning from all the cognizant parties around the world, and you brought up issues, you brought up problems, and OPRs were assigned immediately, and you had to report back the next day on progress of what you were assigned to take care of. I am staggered that Boeing had fallen into a trap where they just didn't do stuff like that. The FAA had implemented a program that was a designated engineering.
The frequency has been used.
Where it was a company employee who worked on behalf of the FAA, and I know at GE we took that very seriously. They put that program out on steroids because the FAA was starting to lose capability of keeping up with the modern aircraft and the modern system. They just didn't have the people. So they assigned people within engineering of airframers and engine companies to be their representative. And apparently that didn't work on the Mac. So big story. But anyway, I couldn't help but bring that up. And by the way, the Max issue indirectly affected a cert for a helicopter that I wanted to retire on to get it through certification. We are coming up on the 10th year anniversary or first flight of that helicopter, and it's still not certified. Unbelievable. And caused by the Max issues. So I'm going to go Echo as well. I'm not sure about some of the cities written down there, but it's totally believable. So I'll go with Echo, Dale. Great question from Tommy. W50G N5BE.
Yeah, very finely. Thank you for good comments there. Always we can expect that from you, and got your answer, and very interesting comments. Do appreciate that. Yeah, we'll talk about this some more here as we go along with it today. Let's move along, go to John, W7AJN. Good morning, John. You're up, W50G. W7AJN, you're up, John. I would hear him if he were on. Anybody here, John? I guess not. Let's go to Carl. KF7GJO. Good morning, Sparky. You're up, W5OG.
Oh, roger that, Dale. Good morning, everybody. KF7GJO. Hey, I was out first thing yesterday morning to rake the thatch and pine needles and dead grass out of the lawn and like that. And did any of you show up and help me? Oh, no. Boy, there would have even been a Bombay Sapphire Martini in the works for you. Anyway, that's why I wasn't on yesterday. Amazing propagation this morning. Dale, you always sound like you're sitting here in the shack with me. You've got such an incredible antenna system, I theorize. But, yeah, overall, conditions are good. And, yeah, Lee, I like your input this morning. How true, how true. And, yeah, being a former FAA, it's kind of embarrassing to say that, yeah, you worked for the company once. Because, boy, in the manufacturing aspect of it, true, they were overwhelmed. They didn't have nearly enough people to do the job. But at the same time, when something like this happens, well, now you get the after effects of cutting corners. Yeah, like Lee, a couple of the names I don't recall, but overall, all of the statements on this are just rock solid. So on this question, buddy, I've got to go with E, all of the above. Because you can sit here and cite instant after instant where pick things out of any of those answers and they hold water. So I'll go with E, buddy, and I'll be with you to the very end. And so back to you. W5OG, KF7GJO.
Okay, Carl, mighty fine. Yep, good signal this morning. We do have a good path. Let's see. Yeah, I got your answer and good comments there. We had a good question yesterday on, you weren't here, Carl, we missed you, but it was about the air traffic controllers. Anyway, let's move along to the commander, K1BOB. Good morning, Bob. You're up, W5OG.
Good morning, Dale. Thank you very much for on the net today. Hearing most everybody pretty well here, except for the ones you're not hearing. Leon, thank you for doing the net logger there and your comments. And thank you, Charlie, K4YDD, for doing the YouTube there and putting that question on there. My. What a big question! What a big question. That's what it is. There's a lot to this. That's for sure. I think I'm going to stick with my original. Alpha, Bravo, and Delta are true. There were outsourcing issues, primarily India and Russia. The language problem and the software that India provided. Japan may have made parts, and I know they had outsourced parts that did not fit or were drilled incorrectly for bolts and that sort of thing. So, yeah, there were outsourcing issues, but I'm not sure that was a major big deal, showstopper. But maybe it was, because the software was one of the problems, redundancy in that MCAS system. I think that was a big deal, wasn't it? 2 crashes because of that. Pilots didn't know what to do, so they weren't trained properly. And the, what was it, an Alpha probe, I think, angle of attack that fed information that was non-redundant. And I think they figured out that might have caused one of the crashes. And then they had the one that did the big loop there. What do you call it? I forget the name of the big loop, or roll, Dutch roll, something like that. And I think they didn't know what happened, but that one didn't crash. Anyway, I'm going to go Alpha True. There were whistleblowers. I think that's a very true statement. I think Bravo is true. And I think the FAA did allow them to do self-inspection, so virtually they were allowed to say systems were airworthy. And the FAA delegated that, which is a big no-no. You're going to have somebody else looking. I think they were going through a lot of upheaval in the company. Like Lee said, they weren't talking to each other, number one. And I think they had to bring in a new guy to clean things up. He didn't last real long. The company's in disarray. I remember that whistleblower, getting on TV and talking about that they ignored me, they tried to shut me up. He was pointing out safety things on the floor regarding construction of aircraft. He was a safety guy for Boeing, and they didn't want to listen to him because they were worried about the profit competing with Airbus. So put me down. I'll be different. I'll be the contrarian again. I'll put me down for Alpha, Bravo, and Delta. A, B, and D, and very interesting discussion topic there. YES there in Alabama. Thank you for that. I hope you're doing okay. This is K1BOB, back to W5OG.
Okay, very fine, Bob. Thank you for that information, and you got your answer there. Let's go to Captain Bill, W2WLD. Good morning again, Bill, W5OG.
Yeah, good morning, Dale. Good morning, all. Propagation is fine today. It is raining again, but what else is new? I want to congratulate Tom for a great question that is eliciting a lot of discussion. I started going down the list, and I said, yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right. And after reviewing myself and listening to comments thus far, I'm going to go along with echo, please, Dale. All of the above. W5OG, W2WLD.
Okay, Bill. Yeah, sorry, it's raining there. This is a lovely time of the year in your part of the country, I know. When the change of the season is up in New England is great. All right, let's go to Joe, W5ABI. You're up, Joe. Good morning again, W5OG.
Yeah, W5OG and the Flyers, W5ABI. Good morning, Dale. Good morning to the rest of the Flyers. Thank you for running the net. Beautiful day here, no wind. I hope it's going for good. No wind, clear blue sky. It's 84 now, going up to 99. So we're entering our heated season. Usually June's our hottest month. We got the old pool about a third filled up with crushed rock. It's going to take about 8 yards. It's not very big, but we got tired of maintaining it and had an underground leak, so away it goes. No more maintenance for me. That's what we're trying to do now in our senior year, is cut down the maintenance. Anyhow, on your question, boy, I think I'm going to go with all of the above. I'm going to go with all of the above. And we'll be here at the bottom, Dale. W5OG, W5ABI.
Okay, Joe, mighty fine. Yeah, my brother-in-law, he filled in his pool, too. He got tired of the continuing maintenance, and he said, nope, I'm done with it. So they filled it in. Now it's got a nice deck built there, and it looks real nice. but no more pool. All right, very fine. Joe, got your answer as echo. Let's see if Jack is here. KM4CAX, he may just be listening, but if you're able to transmit, Jack, go ahead. Your turn, W5OG. Well, I don't hear Jack. Are you there this morning, Jack? KM4CAX, last call, W5OG. All right, we'll move along and maybe, well, I'll take a standby for you on the 73 round. Maybe you'll be back, Jack, or whatever. Rod, KL1Y with a good signal this morning in El Paso. You're up, Rod, W50G.
W50G, thanks, Dale. Good morning to you and the Flyers again this morning. Hope everyone's having a great Thursday morning. We're going to go with after Echo, and then we're going to be clear to 73s, everyone. Something came up, so I got to go take care of something. Got to run to the Social Security office. So 73s off, and after Echo, KL1Y. Back to you, W50G.
All right, Rod. Yeah, good signal this morning. Have a good day. Hope it all works out in your advantage there for sure. So 7-3, Rod. Thanks for joining us. Ray, WB2JJO. Ray, good morning. You're up, W50G.
W50G from W50G Well, I can hear myself on the SDRs, and I'm hearing you very well on the SDR there, SDR. And good morning to you and all the Flyers on the net. Very good net today. I'm hearing a lot of people actually on the electric radio, which is a good thing here. We have 60 degrees and overcast right now. We're probably going to get a little bit of rain later on, but other than that, everything is fine. And Dale, this is a fantastic question. It almost gives itself away because it's so big with all the what do you call with all the answers and stuff. So I'm going to go with Echo on that. I'm going to stick with the Lemmings on this one. And I'm not going to split no hairs. I'm just going to go with Echo on that one. So with that there, sir, we'll kick it back over to you. And as usual, you got a really good signal. Back over to you here, Dale. W50G, WB2JJO.
Okay, fine, Ray. Gonna go with the Lemmings, and we'll see how that works out. And glad to have you with us this morning, Ray. Good signal, also here. But you always have a good signal on the SCR. Mike, KQ6E. Good morning. You're up, W50G.
W50G, KQ6E. I don't know if you hear me. I'm not hearing myself on the SCR, but it's crazy. Who knows? Yeah, it's another wonderful day in paradise. We're finally going to hit the 100-degree mark up here in Anthem. It's got to be a little warmer. And unfortunately, I've got to go down into the West Valley today. My wife's getting her hearing aids, and we're actually going to be down there near John. So it's supposed to be over 100 down there. So I'm not looking forward to it, but it's summer in Arizona. The humidity is only 90%, so we can do with that, and not have to worry too much. We just drink a little water and keep it going. But other than that, things are cruising along, and my brother just retired last year as a tech fellow at Boeing, dealing with a lot of issues and technical stuff up there, and he was pretty much across the board on the things he dealt with. And I'm going to go with the things on this one and say there were just a lot of problems. A lot of it due to the what would you call it, the mindset up in Seattle. Just weird stuff. So I'm going to go with Echo with the Lemmings here and say that. So anyway, it is what it is. So anyway, back to the group. Good to hear everybody. W50G.
Okay, fine, Mike, and good signal. And no worries for copying you, that's for sure. You do have a good signal here. Let's go with back to the east, I guess. K4YDB. Charlie, thanks for doing the live stream as always, and you're up, W50G.
W50G, K4YDB. Good morning, Dale. Morning, all the Flyers. And Dale, thank you for that. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Right now, it is a really nice day outside. It's only supposed to get up to 80 degrees today. It was a close to 50 this morning when I got up at 6. But anyway, I'm gonna go out and get the lawnmower out for sure and see if I can do a buzz. But I got to go up to the drugstore and the Tractor Supply and pick up some stuff first. 'cause I'm not going to turn it down a day like this. It's nice outside. As far as the question goes, I think I'm just going to go with all are true. Sounds good to me. About one of them is bound to be right. Anyway, that's all I have. It's K4YDB. Back to net.
Okay, Charlie. Thank you. Get the bases covered that way. All right, mighty fine. Got your answer, and thanks again for the live stream. That really helps with, especially with complicated questions like this one. All right, let's go to Bob. NX6RG. We'll find out what the professor thinks. W50G.
Okay, Dale, W50G. This is NX6RG. Well, good morning to all the flyers. Beautiful day here in Northern California. Blue skies and sunny, and temperatures going up to the mid-70s today, so it's going to be a great day. Well, this is really an interesting question, and boy, it brought to mind one of my consulting jobs for a company who, and I won't mention the name. They had an absolutely terrific set of engineering processes, all integrated with schedule, cost, everything. I mean, it was fantastic. They had spent years working on it. And we were putting a proposal together, following those processes, and and then there's the ultimate problem. One of the bean counters thinks this is adding up to a cost that's too much, so they decide that they're just going to arbitrarily at the top decide, no, it's got to be a little bit cheaper than this. Unfortunately, nothing underneath it supports that. So, then you get into discussions with engineers that say, yeah, that's the process, but here's how we really do it. They didn't follow the process. So, Boeing is a large company, had, I'm sure, some of that as well. People weren't following the processes on paper. And, the FAA removed its certification authority, which on paper would have worked fine if they had followed all the procedures, but they didn't. So anyway, I looked at those four choices. I got a question on one of them, and that's Charlie. I'm not, the fact that you subcontract things is not necessarily a problem, but if you put that together with poor communication, then it becomes a problem. And so I guess I'm going to go with the lemmings and say it's Echo, with condolences to probably some very worthy subcontractors who do quality work. But it can be a problem if you don't have good communication instituted. And certainly echo N5B's comments about stand-up meetings and assigning action items and demanding actually reporting back and solving and closing action items. So that's a big deal. Anyway, we'll go with Echo, and we'll be here till the bottom, Dale. W50G, NX6RG.
All right, Bob. Yeah, mighty fine. Yeah, good signal and good quality comments that we have learned to expect from you, and you never disappoint. So mighty fine. Let's go to Chief Mike up in Choctaw, Oklahoma. WW5ENZ. Good morning, Mike. You're up. W50G.
Okay, W50G, WW5ENZ. Yeah, good morning. I guess it's kind of interesting being here towards the bottom. You get a lot of expertise ahead of you. But anyway, as far as the Boeing issues go, I know those guys. They competed with us on tanker overhauls too, and a couple of things like even now. Of course, that was a different part of Boeing. They have the manufacturing, and then they have their other stuff. But when you find stuff inside the sheet metal in the aircraft, that's not a good thing. I mean, especially if one of them says Jack Daniels on it, so not so good. But as far as all these things go, in fact, I think the system had a malfunctioning part that was outsourced. I can't remember exactly what the component was, but it was right. It was like it was deflecting down. Anyway, it was causing the problems. And I think the outsourcing issue is not just their bad parts, but it's the communication. This is not working as good as it should, back and forth. So, in fact, nowadays, my question tomorrow is going to be heavily involved with this, the supply chain issues that impact all of us, because some of this stuff is made in countries that we're not very friendly with, or they're not friendly with us. So that's I'm going to say that's probably part of the problem also. So I'm going to go with echo all of the above, and I'll also tell you it's not bad here, 75 today, but it's a little breezy. Other than that, pretty nice day in Oklahoma. And I'll turn it back to you, W5OG, WW5ENZ.
Okay, Mike. Mighty fine. Yeah, good comment. And glad to have you and your answer this morning. All right, let's go to my younger brother, Brian, in San Antonio. Good morning, Brian. Hope you and Susie are doing well this morning. Go ahead, WB5DRI, W5OG.
Okay, Dale, W5OG. This is WB5DRI down here in San Antonio. Well, good morning, Dale, and love to you and Carolyn there. And good morning to all the flyers and to the net. Nice day down here in San Antonio. We're already in the mid to high 80s, about 86. So we're going to be up to close to 100 today, but only 98 is what they're calling for. So that'll be good if we stay below the century mark. But it's going to be a little warmer here. But good to be on the net here this morning. Hope everybody is having a good day there. And let's see, on your question there, Dale, I think Boeing had a lot of really systemic problems with their management, and along with the problems with the MCAS and the two crashes that they experienced there, they have had a really tough time, and they've really made some big mistakes, I think, in those years preceding all that. And I guess they've spent the last few years trying to correct as much of that as they can. Hopefully they've done that. But I'm going to go with echo for my answer. I think all of those things probably were contributing factors. And so anyway, I'm going to go with the group there pretty much and say echo. I did want to mention this morning again, I'm not going to be on the net tomorrow because my wife has a doctor's appointment. But I cannot do the net on Saturday. As I mentioned earlier in the week, I hope somebody is set up to take my net. I have an appointment that I had to do for one of our pets here with the vet on Saturday morning, and it's right in the middle of the net. So I will not be on the net Saturday morning, and I'm sorry about that. But hopefully somebody can pick up my net. Anyway, I'll listen out for the answer here, Dale. And good net, pretty good conditions. You were actually strong on my radio at the start of the net, and then the short skip went away. But pretty good conditions on the band between the radio and the SDRs this morning. So thanks for getting me in there, Dale, and hope you and Carolyn are doing well there. Back to you, W5OG, WB5DRI. Back to net. Good morning, everybody.
Okay, fine, Brian. Yeah, we'll make sure that somebody steps up and takes your net on Saturday. I don't know. We'll see if there's a volunteer, maybe one of the substitute, net controllers will be able to do it on Saturday. I'm going to be a bit tied up on Saturday, so I won't have a chance to do that. But anyway, no worries. We'll get her done. And thank you, Brian, and best to you and Susie. All right, let's go to another visitor here. KJ5, Charlie Papa Foxtrot in Albuquerque. Jim, if you're hearing me, you're up for the net, W5OG.
About a week ago, and but the good thing is they got it all installed, the new system yesterday. I will be. Years old and needed to be replaced anyway. For the group today, so this is Kilo Juliet 5, Charlie Papa Foxtrot.
All right, very fine. There's Jim in Albuquerque, beautiful little town of big city of Albuquerque now. Let's see. I had a couple of comments there. I had something came up and I didn't write it down. But now, have you joined us before? Do you have any military experience there, Jim? Over.
Yes, I was in the Air Force for 27 years. I worked on F-17 at the time, which I also worked on, the self-fighter there. And then I did work on the Boeing 747 at Alpha Air Force Base, which was maybe calling it something else now, but they had the 60th year reunion of that aircraft in so I wonder about that in Omaha.
Okay, that's what I remember that now that you were associated with the 747s there at Offutt. Anyway, mighty fine, Jim, and yeah, check out the website. You most definitely qualify to join us if you'd like to become a member. It's relatively easy to do, and there's no obligation to check into the net any more times if you're a member or not. So, but we love to have you, and I'd love to have your comments there, Jim. And thanks for joining us this morning. All right, let's see. I got a couple of receive only. That's KG5PTE. I guess James is busy with something going on this morning. It takes him away from the radio. But I'm glad that you're listening in, James. Maybe you can join us on Echo Link, and we'll do that here just shortly. And also Ken, K7ARN. That is the bottom of the list unless I missed anybody. Did I miss anyone on the initial trip through the list? Call now, W50G.
Whiskey 5, Papa India X-ray Mobile.
All right, let me go ahead and get to the question. Again, the question of the day was courtesy of Tom K4YES, and it's relatively lengthy. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Most all of you are able to get it off of the net logger. Not net logger. Get it off of we got too many things going on here. Off of the live stream, the YouTube video that Charlie puts up there for us. And the questions, all related to the 737 MAX issue, and most of us are familiar with that. But the statements were quality construction shortfalls, and were discovered by factory floor workers were either not reported or actually hidden by executive personnel, and that's a true statement. As most of us know, that actually happened, and that was discovered under investigation, as most of these things that fall into that kind of a category will come out. The truth, bad news does not improve with age. That's one of the things that that I guess we're all familiar with, that old adage, and it's certainly true. Statement Bravo, company top executives were widely distributed. Yes, they were all over the country, from Seattle, Washington, suburban Connecticut, and even in Orlando, Florida. and they didn't communicate with each other. That was also found out with the investigation. So that's true. And in the outsourcing of the assembly system parts, and that is a true statement. That was one of the findings of this investigation. And those parts came from Japan, South Korea, Italy, France, and Sweden. And I'm, well, anyway, I won't make any more comments about that. Statement Delta, which was also true. The FAA allowed Boeing to independently approve or issue the certification of airworthiness. This was withdrawn, and the FAA inspectors now do all airworthy sign-offs. In addition, line workers are encouraged to report suspected quality shortfalls to the FAA. So all of them were true, and this was a good question posed by, again, by Tom, KA4YES. So I do thanks to Tom for that, and he did a lot of research, and I wanted to make sure that we included it as a question and a topic of discussion for the day. Of course, we can talk more about the training on the first two aircraft that was negligent, and there were some contributing factors of the angle of attack indicator, as Bob indicated, and somebody else also mentioned that. And you know, as we have pointed out from time to time, I think W60WAY one time, an old, very experienced pilot, commented that, well, you know, they went in vertically. That last airplane did, the Indonesian airplane, with the throttles full forward. Nobody, you know, everybody knows you can't do that. Anyway, there were some problems there, no question, but they didn't know how to handle it. I've seen instances in my experience where sometimes you know, it takes a little bit of creative thinking to figure out what in the world the airplane is doing now with all this wizardry that you get very accustomed to, and you expect it to always work the same way every time, which it nearly always does, except for when it doesn't. And then it takes some creative thinking, and you can't teach that in many cases. And I think that was the case with a couple of these incidents. That's probably enough for me, and we'll go ahead and stand by for last minute check-ins before we start the 73 round this morning. Any other check-ins for the Air Force's Flyers Club Net this Thursday morning? Members or visitors that would like to join us, call now, W50G.
Whiskey 3, Sierra Oscar Fox.
A relay, K1DOB.
Okay, I did get Whiskey 3, Sierra Oscar Foxtrot. And who's your relay, Bob?
W5PIX. Clifford tried to get in just before you started the answer there. Clifford, Uncle Cliff.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear him, but we'll go to him right quick here just shortly. We'll start the net. The W3SOF, John in Castle Rock. I think you have joined us before, too, as a supervisor of flying there. Anything for the net this morning, John? W3SOF, W5OG. Okay, well, thanks for joining us, John. You're welcome anytime. All right, let's go ahead and start the 73 round. Let's go to Cliff, W5PIX. I think you would have got the question right. We'll give you full credit there, Cliff. Go ahead, W5PIX Mobile, W5OG.
W5OG, W5PIX here in San Antonio. And, well, we still got a few MAX 737s sitting over here at Fort San Antonio. I'm just taking lemons like everybody else. And, well, I got 88 degrees right at the moment, and in traffic here, but anyways, 7-3, everybody, all the flyers have a very good day. Catch you on Info-Link, this W5PIX Mobile.
Okay, Cliff. Yeah, I heard you on the SDR. Not real strong on the SDR. And not exactly sure why, but I was able to copy it. So, mighty fine. Let's go to our other 18-wheel mobile. Larry, how are you progressing? KB0LT T-Mobile, W50G.
W50G in the group, KB0LT Mobile. Well, I'm almost to Waukegan, and traffic is nice here on Interstate 70. That's all I can say. I like these wide open spaces. The Dakotas, Montana, Wyoming, Nebraska, Kansas, parts of Oklahoma. I like these wide open spaces. Not a lot of traffic to have to contend with. Good question for the day, good net, and hopefully catch up with you over on Echo Link for a case there. W50G and the Air Force's Flyers Club net, KB0LTT 18-wheel mobile 73.
Yeah, as frequent travelers out that way, and Larry, I concur 100%. And Carolyn's sitting over here listening in, and she said, yeah, in very few towns, which is sure nice. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we like the wide open spaces of the West. All right, glad to have you with us, Larry, as always. Lee, N5BE, thanks for the help again, W50G.
W50G N5BE. I'm going to try to make this quick, but I had so many other things flowing into my mind here on this question. Excellent question. Every morning I get in the office at 6:30 to prepare for a 7 a.m. stand-up meeting with the F-16 program office. And the vice president chaired the meeting. His deputy was there. All the cognizant disciplines were there. And we would go through a status of where the program was on that day. This took place Monday through Friday. OCRs were immediately assigned to any issues, just like we did at GE. It was very disciplined. I would love to have a discussion someday with some of you guys about where the crossover takes place between a stick and rudder pilot and a systems manager. I believe at least one of those accidents were caused by people up front that were more system managers than pilots. I would love your opinion on that. W50G N5BE, great net today, Dale. Thank you. N5BE.
Okay. Thank you for the comments, Lee. And yeah, I agree with that. Of course, we talk about this particular subject from time to time here on the net, and will in the future. So stay tuned. Anyway, some of us have been there and done that, and have seen this firsthand. How easy it is to get. And I'm not saying that it's bad, because all the new wizardry and the wonderful technology that we have. Like I've commented, for example, in the past. I came from a world where more eyeballs in the cockpit were better than not having them, and I went from the flight engineer position to being as we do in commercial aviation, up to the right seat as a co-pilot. I had to learn all that stuff about the magic on the Boeing 757. And here's a complicated airplane with no flight engineer. Well, my goodness, how's that? They're going to have. Now, let me tell you, there's no flight engineer, even myself, that was as good as that computer. It's incredible. But what happens when it doesn't work? That's the problem. All right. Anyway, mighty fine, Lee. We'll talk about that some more. Let me see if John is back. W7AJN. Yeah, I should have listened for you at the bottom of the list there, John. I apologize if you're there. W7AJN, 7-3 round, John, W50G. Well, I don't hear John this morning. I guess I think he checked in, but he must have got called away. I hope everything's all right. Anyway, let's go to Carl, KF7GJO. Carl, you're up for the 73 round, W50G.
Okay, Dale. Excellent net today. Had a lot of fun. And, yeah, I hear you, Lee. My sentiments exactly. Reminds me of an old saying. There's never time to do it right, but there's always time to do it over. 73s, everybody. Have a fantastic day. We'll try this again tomorrow. W50G Dales Dales 73.
Okay, Carl. Yeah, good comment there. All right, let's go to the box. K1BOB, 73 round, Bob, W50G.
That's K1BOB. Were you trying to reach the Air Force Flyers Club Net? K1BOB. No problem, sir. K1BOB here, Dale. I like to take the road less traveled at times, a lot of times. And I saw the writing on the wall early on. I go, I'm just going to go with my hunch on that. I never heard of all those subcontractors. I know they had subcontractor problems, though. So that's the only reason I did that. Because if you're the only one that gets it right, that's more important than being a lemming in my mind. So I went with my second answer, actually. So very good. That's a lot of discussion there, and that's a good lesson to relearn for us as we improve our wisdom levels here. Some of us, anyway. But that was a good one there. I enjoyed that, Tom, if you're listening. So anyway, Dale, great net, thanks. And I don't know. Yeah, we need to get somebody for Brian. Brian, I guess you're still there. How about if you want to take Monday for me, I'll take Saturday for you. I kind of like to do the swap thing so it's even for everybody. What do you think about that when you come up? So WD5DRI, Brian, think about that. I'll do Saturday. That's a rough net, but I'll do it. You take Monday for me, and then I can get started early in the week there. So this is K1BOB, and back to W50G. Well done, Dale.
Okay, Bob. Yeah, thank you. And I seen it also on the AIM window that Lee has volunteered to do that swap with his Saturday net. He'd rather do it. His Sunday net. If you could do it on Sunday, he'd take it for you on Saturday there, Brian. So you think about both of those, either Bob or Lee. Bill, W2WLD, 73 round, Bill, W50G.
Well, thanks again to Tom for a great question, great discussions. A couple adages came out. I've got another one. If you want it bad, you'll get it bad. Great net. Enjoyed it, Dale. Thanks. Everybody have a great day. W50G, W2WLD.
Okay, Bill. Yeah, mighty fine. All right, let's go to Joe. W5ABI, 73, Joe. W50G.
73 for you and all the flyers. W5OG, W5ABI, 73.
All right, Joe, you have a great day. Thanks for being there. Jack, AM4CAX, are you there, Jack? W5OG. No, I guess Jack is tied up or not. Maybe he's listening. Anyway, if you're listening, Jack, we need you back. Come back and join us when you can. All right, Ray, WB2JJO, 73 round, Ray, W5OG.
W5OG from WB2J Dales. I'll tell you what there, Dale, this was an outstanding question and an outstanding net. And I'll tell you what, it was pretty good as far as propagation is concerned. I was able to hear a lot on the electric radio. So with that there, sir, 73, have yourself a good afternoon, and we'll talk to you further on down the road. Or down the line, or whatever they say. W5OG, WB2J Dale, 73, sir.
All right, Ray, 73 to you. Have a great day. Mike, KQ6E, 73 round, Mike, W5OG.
W5OG, the group KQ6E. Yeah, good session today. Always fun to listen to the comments of those who are in the know. It's an amazing group we have here. So, we're going to head out to the XYL, get to hearing aids this afternoon, and got to deal with around the house. And 73s, and good to hear everybody this morning, and conditions were pretty good. So W5OG in the group, KQ6E.
All right, Mike, good comments. 7-3 to you. Charlie, K4YDB, thanks, Charlie, for everything that you do. And you're up, 7-3, Charlie, W5OG.
W50GK4YDB. Well, thanks for that, Dale. Thanks for running a great net today. I mean, it was pretty good. Conditions held up pretty nicely over here, so I wasn't complaining too much. Anyway, 73s, everybody. Everybody have a great day. I'm going to go play in the dirt. K4YDB, back to net.
All right, Charlie. Don't work too hard there. Bob, NX6RG, 73, Bob, W50G.
W50G and X6RG. Okay, Dale, enjoyed the net very much this morning. Great question from Tom. 73 Stalin. We'll see everybody on the air tomorrow. W50G and X6RG.
All right, Bob, mighty fine. And Chief Mike, WW5ENZ, 73, W50G.
Okay, W50G, WW5ENZ, just a quick comment here. When we talked about the Charlie answer, about outsourcing, and boy, you can see the issues we've had over the last, I don't want to just say 4 years, but we've not been paying a lot of attention to that. And you got a lot of people that, when they put out a bid, you got a lot of people that don't want to bid on it because it's not, profitable. And a lot of other issues like that, plus, and the supply chain, a lot of the issues in there are with countries that we, like I said before, we're not very friendly with. But my understanding is that Trump's going to fix it. Yeah, Trump's going to fix it with a tariff. And the companies are moving back, so we'll see how that plays out. Anyway, 73s, everybody. WW5ENZ. Turning it back to net control.
All right, Mike. Yeah, I just can't imagine that anyone would not see the benefit from some of this. You may dislike the man, but you cannot deny the fact that this is a movement in the proper direction. We got to do something, or we're not going to be able to make anything. Anyway, that's my comment for the day, I guess. How are you, Brian? WB5DRI, and who did you select there, Brian? W50G.
Yeah, W50G in the net. This is WB5DRI. Well, good net, Dale. Thanks for getting us all in there this morning. It was a fun question there from Tom from K4YES. We want to thank him for that. And we want to thank Charlie, K4YDB, for his great live stream. And everybody that contributed this morning, I guess the guys on the NetLogger as well. I guess that was Lee. So thanks for that, Lee. And on the nets, I just agreed earlier with Lee N5BE to take his net on Sunday, and he's going to take my net on Saturday. So we're switching. So I had already agreed to that, so that's the way we'll do it, Bob, if that's okay. So anyway, 73s, everybody, and everybody have a great Memorial Day weekend, and we'll talk to you on Sunday if you're on the net. 73s, everybody. Thanks, Dale, for getting us in there. W50G, WB5DRI, back to net. Good day, everybody.
Okay, Brian, as I understand it, you're going to swap and take the Sunday net, and Lee will take your Saturday net. Mighty fine. Thank you, Lee, for that. And you're off the hook there, Bob. Make any changes. You still have Monday. All right, let's go to Jim, KJ5CPF. Any final comments for the 73 round, Jim? W50G. All right, Jim, mighty fine. Thanks for joining us this morning. Come back when you can, always. All right, James, KG5PT, baby, back in the shack now. Good morning, James. You're up. W5OG.
7-3s, Dale. W5OG, KG5PT. Well, I would have went with Echo. I was looking at the question of the day, and while we were sitting there at McDonald's, I had the live stream up, and I was showing them the question. There's several of the hams, and they thought that was, they answered all E as well. They looked at the question, thought that was quite interesting. So learned a little bit about Raspberry Pis and setting them up for MMDVMs, and found out that you want to go with at least a Raspberry 4 or a 5 with at least 2 gig of RAM, and you can use them for clocks like you got, Dale, like one for a ham clock. They make real good ham clocks. But 2 gig of RAM with at least a Raspberry 4 or 5 for building these hotspots for digital voice. So learned a little bit of stuff today this morning, so that's what it's all about. 7-3s, I'll catch y'all on Echo Lake. KG5PT.
Yeah, okay, James. Well, I'm not sure. This is an older Raspberry Pi. In fact, it's one that my son-in-law used, and when he put my ham clock together for me for a birthday gift, which was very nice, and I still use it every day, and it's much appreciated. And I think it was an older, maybe a Raspberry Pi 3. I'm not sure. But anyway, it was just laying around. It had been for years, and he resurrected it and put it to good use, and it's doing its thing. All right, that's the bottom of the list, and we'll take a quick standby, see if we have any final comments or last-minute check-ins before we close the net. Call now, W5OG. Okay, hearing none, this has been the Thursday edition of the Air Force's Flyers Club Net. Thanks to all for your participation and check-ins. Come back and join us. W5OG now closing the Air Force's Flyers Club Net, returning the frequency to normal amateur use. I'll be over on Echo Lake in about 2 minutes. W5OG clear.